Hey everybody, Derek here to bring you another video for Z Nation. And in this video, what I'm going to be doing is making predictions for Dr. Kurian to see exactly who he is and what kind of a role he's going to be playing in Season 2. I want to thank Brett Reed for the suggestion. It was a very good suggestion, and I'm really looking forward to doing this video and for Season 2 to premiere in September. So I'm looking forward to it. So thank you, Brett. And if anybody else has any other suggestions, please do not be afraid to suggest them. I'm going to get this video started. If you guys are not caught up with Season 1 of Z Nation, this video will contain spoilers. Alrighty. So, when we left off in Season 1, this was the first time that we had met Dr. Kurian. He was at the lab when the group showed up. He made himself out to be like he was the guy that was going to take care of Murphy, that was going to collect the samples, figure out the cure, all that. But the group later came to find out, no, Dr. Kurian's not really a very good guy. In fact, he is a bioweapons dealer. He is basically a guy who would come up with various different diseases, viruses, toxins, things like that, that you could either put in the water system, put in the air, and it would make people sick and potentially kill them. That's unfortunately what a bioweapons person would do. And, of course, Dr. Kurian, we were able to see flashbacks of him before the zombie apocalypse started and how he was taking samples from different individuals. He took a sample from that drug addict who had like the rotting skin. He took samples from an Ebola patient, and he took samples from like a human zombie was what they called it, because he was able to respond to commands, but he really didn't vocalize, didn't speak for himself. And obviously, a lot of those things add up to being various qualities of zombies, the zombies that we see in just any zombie culture. Now, the question is, what was Dr. Kurian's intention for doing this? Because one of the things that I was thinking about was, well, did Dr. Kurian really intend to create a zombie virus? Honestly, I think he was. I was on the fence for a little bit, but I think that his intention really was to create something catastrophic on either a national level or a worldwide level. We really didn't know where the zombie virus initiated. We don't know if patient 0 lived in the United States, if they lived in Europe, Asia, down in South America. We don't really know. We didn't really find out any of that information. But I really think that Dr. Kurian did set out to create some kind of a virus that maybe not necessarily would have created zombies, but would have done some harm to people. I was thinking about it that way, or maybe it was only supposed to be a small-scale type of zombie apocalypse event, that maybe they were using this to unfortunately cripple some kind of a country. And it's very possible that Dr. Kurian may be working for some government, whether it's the United States, whether it was somewhere, again, in Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, Australia. We don't know. But I think it's very possible that he was working for somebody that could really provide the means to get this zombie virus out and amongst the people. So I think that he is responsible. The fact that the episode is called Doctor of the Dead makes me think that as well. He's the doctor of creating the dead. He was the one that, in a sense, put X, Y, and Z together, and you get zombie virus and worldwide catastrophe, really. Another thing that I thought about was that he may not necessarily be working for somebody, or if he is, it's not the government, but it's something like, I guess like a cult maybe, or maybe he is, in a sense, one of those villains that you think about from just James Bond movies or something like that, because I remember there were several James Bond movies that dealt with destroying the Earth. Moonraker is a perfect example of that, where Hugo Drax wanted to destroy the Earth and make a perfect race in a sense. He took several individuals up into space so that they could reproduce, the perfect race, and according to Drax's ideas, and then they would go back and repopulate the Earth, etc., etc. Well, part of me wonders if maybe Dr. Kurian was like that, or maybe he was working for somebody who had that same kind of an idea where, maybe you want to make a world that is the survival of the fittest. Maybe the world wasn't in a good state. You got various different individuals who have different feelings and beliefs about whether the world is a good place, not a good place. And unfortunately, you get people like that who, hey, if there was an apocalyptic event, then maybe they would think that that was a good thing for the world. Kind of sad when you think about it, but I would not put it past them that this may have been created to kill, in a sense, millions and billions of people, that maybe the earth was overpopulated, things like that. So I think that there are a lot of different possibilities as to who Dr. Kurian was working for at the time and what his intentions were, which I do hope we find out. Why did he create this? Because it sounds like it's something very terrible, but it may have also been something that would have helped the world. I know that sounds weird, but think about, maybe taking certain individuals and zombifying them, but not making them like bloodthirsty zombies. You have that potential idea of maybe taking individuals and unfortunately enslaving them, by infecting them with this, virus that would inert their brain, make it not being able to function, and then having them work for free. That might be a possibility too, is that, it was intended, like, especially with that human zombie in the hospital, the one that could take commands but couldn't think, didn't like vocalize or respond or anything like that on his own volition. You think about that and it really makes you wonder if the purpose behind the whole virus was to infect people, and in a sense it would make them not be able to eat, like they wouldn't need any nourishment. There's another possibility again that it would not allow your brain to work, so then you can use them for free labor. That might be a potential possibility. And I think that when you combine a couple of those things, that's another possibility for why Dr. Kurian may have made the virus. So obviously a lot of different reasons for why. And again, I really hope that they do tell us exactly why this happened, because I think that you and I do want to know. Walking Dead is a little different, in the sense that we don't really need to know. But when you're involving storylines about a cure and a doctor who is messing around with, the DNA and the virus and all that, when you have all of those things coming together, you're going into more of a territory where you need to explain some things. And I really think that Dr. Kurian did intend to make something terrible. Now, whether he intended to make it this worldwide event, that's a question that we need answered. Because maybe he didn't. And the possibility of Murphy having this cure within him, I think in a sense that this is his new project, in a sense that maybe whoever he's been working for have been telling him, hey, listen, we need you to find a cure for this. This is not what we intended. This has gone worldwide. It's killed millions of people. The world is, a terrible place. We need you to find the cure now. Or, hey, we need you to do something even more extraordinary, so that we can survive in this world. So it could be either way. It could be that he really is trying to find a cure, or as well, he's going to use Murphy to make something even tougher. So you as a person, may not be able to overcome the zombies, but you would be able to make yourself more powerful where they wouldn't be a problem. Like with Murphy, I mean, the zombies don't attack him. The zombies, in a sense, can be controlled by him. And I think that really, if we see Murphy's powers are growing, then it really makes you wonder if Dr. Kurian was going down the path of making some kind of a superhuman, somebody that would have these extraordinary abilities. And maybe he had that idea in his mind when he was combining these things. I don't know how, but obviously Dr. Kurian wants Murphy for a reason. And I really think that a lot of that is related to with the cure, but what is the cure going to be used for? I think that is an even more important question. Because I don't think that Dr. Kurian is really doing this for the generosity of the human race. I mean, I don't think that he really cares whether, everybody gets better or not. I don't think they can. I mean, really, if you're making a cure, it's more for people that are alive right now and not reversing the effects of the zombie virus. I don't think that that would do anything. I mean, the zombies have been rotting away. I mean, even if you could reverse the process, I mean, that's just not a way to live. So I don't think that it can help the zombies, but it can help the people that are alive. But I think that Dr. Kurian is working for somebody, and I do think that the reason why he wants Murphy is because Murphy is what is needed in order for him to complete either his next project or the initial purpose behind why Dr. Kurian made this virus. Because there is a possibility where, again, kind of like the alpha omega argument, maybe Murphy would be considered somebody who would be an alpha, somebody who can control the zombies, somebody who would be able to, stand in a room and say, okay, hey, you go over here and do this, you do that, you do this. And maybe that's part of the point, is that the virus could be being used for more than one thing. Again, you make just regular zombies, but then at the same time, you might be able to make somebody who is resistant to the zombie virus, where if they get attacked, they won't die. And also at the same time, they have these abilities to control the zombies. I think that that's part of the idea behind it. And I think that that's what Dr. Kurian wants. And I think that that's why we're going to see him going after Murphy, because he still has work to do on this, and Murphy holds the key to potentially, making this virus more of an effective means that he wanted to make more of a powerful person, or, to make himself more powerful, maybe. I think that's a possibility. But I think that we're going to be seeing some very interesting stories with Dr. Kurian. I did hear that he's going to be disfigured as a result of the explosion. So it really makes you wonder if he wants it for selfish reasons as well, to potentially cure him, like to basically heal him, maybe. That could be a possibility. His wounds may be more life-threatening than he thinks. That could be a possibility. But those are basically some of my predictions. I mean, I think that there are multiple reasons why this virus may have been made, and I think it was Dr. Kurian's intention to make individuals who were similar to what we saw in the patients that he took the samples for. And either he intended to make this a very worldwide terrible event, or he only intended for it to be focused on one area, or again, it wasn't meant to destroy so much as it was to, again, maybe help a world problem. I mean, let's face it, if individuals worked for free, the economy would be very different. I mean, obviously, that's, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, that's a matter of opinion, but you can't deny that for every person that would work for free, that's less than the boss would have to pay out. And again, I'm not an economy expert, and I'm not a judge, but obviously doing certain things like that would be better for business. So again, maybe it was an economic purpose behind it. I also think, again, there might have been a soldier, an army purpose behind it. Obviously, many different possibilities. Now, the question is, did it have its intended effect? And I don't think it did, but we may find out otherwise. And again, what is Kurian going to do? Because again, I think that it is about the cure, but it's not about saving the human race. It's more about selfish reasons, or the individuals that he's working for, which I think would be pretty powerful people, which does lead me to believe that it may be a government conspiracy, that as a result, Dr. Kurian would have the ability to affect this virus and make a cure and then help the individuals that he wants to help. And again, they may just be rebuilding a world for themselves and not caring about the innocent people that are in it. So I think there are a lot of possibilities. We definitely could have more discussion on this. But, I think that those are the basic ideas about what I think Kurian is about and what he's going to be doing in season 2. I think those are a lot of the points behind it. So if you guys want more, just let me know what kind of videos you want me to make. If there's anything else about this topic, don't be afraid to let me know. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. I definitely like chatting with you guys. You're all very intelligent individuals who know a lot about this show and are dedicated to it, and I really do admire and appreciate that. You guys are great. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming. And again, I want to thank everybody who has been watching and all of your support. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you.